Hi guys, my name is Stephen Huff. I go by Brent. And before I get on to my presentation, I wanted to say if you'll look at my post there's actually 2 video links on YouTube. One of those, the very first one, is my ASU introduction video that I tried to post at the beginning of the semester. But I had some pictures from Disney World on there that I guess that Disney has some kind of filter, or YouTube does, that kept rejecting it. I would post it and then later on it would say it was unauthorized. So I've removed those pictures and redone the video, so you should be able to see it now. Onto this presentation. Those books you saw scroll across the screen before I came on are the books that I chose to write on for my historiography essay. And I chose to write on 2 basic themes, a broad theme and then a smaller theme within that broad theme to kind of hone it in. And the larger theme was the practice of Native American slavery and how the natives and the Europeans incorporated that practice. But within that, I wanted to write on how these authors, or these scholars, have chose to address the theme of power within the Native American slave trade. And each is different. Some come from the perspective of all the power rests in the hands of the natives, and some come with the theory that all the power rested in the hands of the Europeans. And the issue that I think I found when I read all these books is something that I've sort of addressed in the message boards, which is I think that bad writing is when someone comes in with a preconceived notion or an idea before they even began their research. And there's some of these books where I think that was the case. The very first class I ever took in college, my first English class, my professor said something that has stuck with me from the very beginning. And he said, good writing is when you learn first. Means you go in there and you have a broad topic. Let's say you want to write on underage drinking. What you do is you go look up underage drinking, you find all of the research you can find on it, and then based on all the research in which you have tabulated, then you form a conclusion, you form a thesis, and you try to write on that. Bad writing is where if you say underage drinking and you say, before you even do any of your research, you have a belief that it's okay. And you go find all the evidence to support that it's okay, and you find maybe some contradictory evidence just to help your argument. But really, you, from the very beginning, had one belief. Well, that's bad writing. Well, a lot of these books, to me, are bad writing. They tell compelling stories, they're interesting, but it's obvious that the author or the scholar had a preconceived idea about what he wanted to write about, and that bias came oozing through the pages, and I think that's bad history. Well, not all of the books that I chose to write were like that. And thank goodness there was one that I found that I just thought was an extraordinary piece of writing. And it was actually the last book I wrote. And I noticed that at least one of my classmates chose to write on the same topic, which is this one, Slavery in Indian Country by Dr. Christina Snyder. And I thought it was just writing at its best. It states from the very beginning that I'm going to do something different than everyone else. I'm going to tell you it from all sides. And basically, why I'm going to tell you from all sides is because it's important to understand that all of these cultures, whether it be Native American, African American, or European, they all blend together over time to make a uniquely American culture. And while there are definite abuses, and she confronts those abuses right off the bat, what she says is if we only focus on, let's say we only focus on the Native American side, or we only focus on the European side, or we only focus on the African American side, we're doing it all an injustice. And that's something that I really appreciate. And I want to read something that she wrote, and this is how she ended her paper. And she says, as Drayback implicitly argued, American history and Native American history cannot and should not be separated, for each is indubitably a part of the other. Because of captivity, the histories, cultures, and even the genes of the diverse people who inhabit North America are irrevocably intertwined. And that's good history. And what I learned through all of these books is that sometimes there's bad history and sometimes there's good history. And when you choose to write and just let the facts speak for themselves, you write good history.